Is Meghan Markle now using Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet to blackmail King Charles? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? And let's start off with Megsy, famously, as far as I'm concerned at this point, refusing to step foot back into the UK to visit with Prince Hazard, right? We've got Tom Quinn, pretty much now known as the new Omid Scobie, take that as you will, saying to the Mirror quote, "There's no way Meghan would bring the children to the UK. William and Kate have suggested that Meghan and Harry bring the children and that the two couples and their families try to make up, but the suggestion is not leading anywhere so far." Yeah, wasn't it just a couple of days ago that reports were coming in that Megsy is so desperate to now end the feud with Princess Catherine? Yeah, but only on Megsy's terms, right? No give and take whatsoever from her. No. His sentiments were echoed in Omid Scobie's book from last year, Endgame, where he claimed that Megsy never felt at home in the UK and bluntly suggested, quote, never wants to set foot in England. He also claimed she decided to skip King Charles's coronation last year in May because she refused to dive back into the soap opera of the court. She's already in the soap opera of the court, really, to be fair. But, you know, we also know, a petty conspiracy theory, whatever, that Megsy's refusal to come back to the UK has nothing to do with security or childcare whatsoever, no matter what Team Sussex tries to peddle. Speaking to OK, we have former BBC Royal correspondent Jenny Bond saying that Megsy's recent decision to not come with Prince Hazard to the 10th anniversary Invictus Games celebration was the clearest indication yet that she doesn't plan to return to the UK ever again. Saying, I'm afraid this does seem to be the clearest indication yet that Megsy really doesn't want to return to the UK. I suppose it's not surprising because there would be a huge amount of doubt about what kind of reception she would get, but it's sad. Then saying, look, the fact that she's going to Nigeria completely negates the argument that it's an issue of security that's keeping her away. They'll obviously be given official security in Nigeria, but they would almost certainly be given security here on a similar official engagement. And few people would argue that Nigeria is a safer place than the UK. Continuing to say that the only conclusion we can draw is that Megsy has absolutely no desire to set foot in the UK again. And so, how is King Charles going to be able to see his grandchildren, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, when we've got Megsy on a number of fronts here, turning round and being like, yeah, I ain't stepping foot in the UK ever again, right? Well, reports are now coming through that King Charles is now desperate for the chance to get to know Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, so much so that there's now discussion that he may make a private trip to California to see them. So my question is this, and I'm just asking for a friend here, with Megsy's absolute refusal to ever step back in the UK ever again with Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, if the reports are to be believed, is she blackmailing King Charles? Is she turning around and saying, you'll only see Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet if you come to my turf? Because if King Charles comes over to America, to California, to visit Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, he doesn't have that much of, let's say, a warm relationship with the press over there. The press over there is completely different, as it should be, absolutely fair enough. But then Megsy and her team could pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, or ever, manipulate the situation in the press if King Charles ever came over to visit Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. In other words, King Charles, don't take the bait. Don't do it. So again, I'm asking, just for a friend, is Megsy using Archie and Lilibet to blackmail King Charles? to turn around and essentially say, look, you can see them, but you've got to come to my turf. Interesting question, right, guys? Now, we have Jenny Bond again turning around and saying having grandchildren is a powerful tug on the heartstrings. Little people who are part of your bloodline and have had nothing to do with family quarrels and tensions. So I can imagine that the king very much wants the chance to get to know Archie and Lilibet and to create some memories for them. Also suggesting that Archie and Lilibet could actually be the key to ending this whole drama and feud. Saying that the youngsters might convince King Charles to forgive, if not forget, the bitter rows of the past. Adding, I fervently hope that Hazza will not follow Meg's example of remaining obduratory, estranged from her father and most of her family. And again, these reports keep building and building and building that King Charles is just not content of seeing Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet just on video call. He really, really is keen and more than ever to actually build more of a relationship with Hazza and Meg's children. So much so that, again, because of Meg's refusal to come to the UK with his grandchildren, it looks like potentially the king is looking into travelling into California to see them. And again, I asked the question for a friend. Is Megxie using Archie and Lilibet to blackmail King Charles to come over to California to visit them, because then he'll be on her turf, so to speak, and she could potentially manipulate the situation, manipulate the media at that point? Because here we go. King Charles has reportedly had discussions about a US trip to visit Prince Hazza's children, Archie and Lilibet. Again, apparently the new Omid Scobie, Tom Quinn, saying that King Charles has now taken matters in his own hands with a planned visit to America where he'll no doubt make time to visit his grandchildren. Saying Charles has had discussions about an official visit to the United States at some time in the future. And there's no doubt if it goes ahead, he would build in time to visit his youngest son and his grandchildren. But there are mountains of planning to be overcome before that becomes even a remote possibility. Making a point that King Charles has privately visited many other countries, saying he made an unpublicised visit to Transylvania, for example, to check up on his rental properties. So it's certainly possible that he would make a discreet private visit to Hazza and the children in California. Yeah, it is. But again, I'm asking for a friend. Now that I've gone all the way from A to Z, Meg's complete refusal to step foot in the UK, Meg's complete refusal, or reportedly, of course, bringing Archie and Lilibet to the UK, asking for a friend here at this point, now that reports are coming through that King Charles is keener more than ever to build a relationship with Archie and Lilibet, and new reports coming in that he's actually thinking about visiting California on a private visit. Is it a case here that Megxie is using Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet to blackmail King Charles? To say, if you want to see them, you've got to come over to my turf, where she thinks then that she has more control over the situation. Not only over him and the children, but the media as well. Interesting question. I'm just asking for a friend. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alt and Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. Do you think that Megxie is using Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet to blackmail King Charles? I'm just asking for a friend, but what do you guys think? Also, as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about that question, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.